Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel where I'm on a mission to not only pay off all my student loan debt, but also bring my net worth and assets to be valued at over $1 million. And in today's video, one of the steps that I'm going to be taking to get myself to that financial goal is budgeting, and we're going to be doing a budget with me video / transfer Tuesday where I will be showing you guys my income as well as what I do to invest and paying off my monthly expenses. Now, just kind of some updates for this video. I have received my final paycheck for the month of February, as I already disclosed in my first budget with me video in February. My first paycheck, and I talked a little bit about what I thought I was going to get paid for my side hustle income, though I do have an update for that because I just found out that I made a mistake, and actually my side hustle income is going to be a little bit more than what I anticipated. So stay tuned. So the first thing that I always like to start off when forming, or like in this case, completing a budget, is looking at my income column. This is where I basically add up all the income I'm going to be receiving throughout the month, and I figure out what it's going to be. Now, I was already able to figure out what my first paycheck was, as I got paid already during that time for my first budget with me video that was posted earlier on in this month. But I have received my second paycheck along with an updated version of my side hustle income. If you're wondering why these are blacked out in this video, it's because this is the second time recording this video, and I didn't feel like pushing Control-Z 1,000 times until I got back to where I started, so I just blacked them out. So, paycheck number 2, what's it gonna be? What did I get paid for my second paycheck this month? $2,284.72. I guess I should have blacked this out too. If you guys were thinking on your feet, you can maybe do some math to figure out what my side hustle income is going to be. It's going to be that, $1,890.00. Now, I had originally anticipated just getting paid this much. I think it was $1,540. But when I was going back through and formulating the voucher, which is how I get paid for my services during the month, when I was doing that, I realized I had left off quite a few visits. So when I tallied everything up for the first video, I was wrong. So I'm actually getting paid $1,890 for my side hustle income this month, and did get this paycheck last Friday. So $184.72 over what I anticipated getting paid for my regular W-2 income. So regular W-2 income is good, and the side hustle income is good this month. And if we take a look just down here at the total income, you guys can see that that's, I plan for $5,700 each month, but this month it's actually sitting at $6,119.80, $419.80 over what I anticipated getting paid this month. And hey, I'm never gonna object to this number being in the green up here. So we'll take it. Before we talk about monthly expenses, we need to first look at the paying myself first column. This is basically the column and categories I set up so that I'm on target with my financial goals and investing for my financial future. I believe that if you don't do that now and on a monthly basis, or sometimes even a weekly basis for some people, that you're going to push it off, and you're probably never going to start it until past when it would be ideal for you to have been investing. So I try to do this every month. Usually it's 1 or 2 times per month that I'm going to be setting aside money for my financial goals. So this first category up here where it says saved payments, this of course is saving up payments for my government student loans, which are in deferment. That's the only type of outstanding debt I have right now other than my mortgage. So what I'm doing is, instead of just paying it, I'm putting it into a high interest savings account, and it's gaining interest for me, which is nice. It's better than just paying it off, and then who knows, it might get forgiven, it might not, and it might not ever even be due again. So I figured might as well save it into a high interest savings account. I've been doing this since last April, and I now have a total amount of $28,000 saved up in this account until today, where I was able to transfer another $3,000. There's probably a screenshot floating up on the screen right now. Another $3,000 towards my saved government student loan payments. So that's obviously going to bring this number up to, wow, $31,000 saved. That's quite a big number. I can't remember the last time I had that much amount of money saved. I think it was actually before I bought a house. I think I had like $32,000 in the bank, and I used part of that for the down payment. So yeah, that's the last time I had $31,000 saved up, which was over 3 years ago. Haven't seen that much money saved since then. So, okay. Anyway, moving on down from that great milestone reached to my Roth IRA. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you know what a Roth IRA is, it's setting aside money, investing it in a retirement account. It's a specific type of brokerage accounts that comes with specific tax benefits. I actually did make a video about it a while ago. I'll link to that in the description and in a little floating bubble somewhere up on the screen if you want to know about that. But I've been trying to contribute towards my Roth IRA for the last several months now. And I recently, this year, bumped it up to $200 contribution per month. And there probably would be another screenshot floating up on the screen somewhere, because today I was able to transfer another $200 towards my Roth IRA. Maybe I'll have to make a specific video sometime about what my investment accounts look like with my Roth IRA and my 401k. Moving on down to vacation, Christmas, and family. These three categories are all sinking funds, which is basically just a specific type of category you make in a monthly budget that you know a future expense is coming, and so you put money aside now so that when that future expense arrives, you're not caught off guard, your budget doesn't suffer, it doesn't tank your bank account. You've been already saving up for it the whole time, and so not really an issue. I found this to be quite helpful last year during Christmas time, where I had sinking funds set aside for this, and Christmas really didn't impact my monthly budget much. It was very just lightly touched the budget, if that. So I really like sinking funds. I don't know who came up with them first, but they're a great budget strategy to, I guess, save money, but also prepare yourself for a financial event in the future. And for vacation, Christmas, and family, I have put $50 towards each of these categories each month. This $250, $100, and $100 here are accurate now. Like I said earlier, this is actually the second time I've recorded this video. Everything has been against this video getting recorded, so these numbers are correct. $250 is now in the vacation fund, $100 and $100 for the family and Christmas funds, which are all in a high interest savings account with Ally Savings Bank, which I think right now is at 3.3 or 3.4% interest rate, which is decent. That's going to round out my total amount of paying myself first for the month of February to $3,350, which is the amount I would like to pay. You can see it's the planned and it's the actual. So I'm quite pleased with that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to move on down to the expense column, and this is just regular monthly expenses. I will say what you're probably seeing on your screen right now, these are all the new and updated numbers, because like I said, this is the second time I've recorded this video. I didn't want to go back through and push zero because I already threw out the paper that had these expenses on there. So we're just going to talk about them. The only thing that's not going to happen is I'm not going to type them in right now. So we've already done the whole paying myself first talk and category. I was able to contribute this amount of money, which is good. That's what I want to do. It is an expense, even though it's investing and it's paying for things in my future. So I do list it as an expense just so things get tracked. My mortgage, this is still at zero because, as I already talked about in the previous video, I overpaid on my mortgage in January. The bank was able to credit that extra payment towards February's payment. So this month's a little bit more relaxed financially because I don't have $1,059 to have to pay towards my mortgage. It came out last month. Now I could, I guess, make an extra payment on it, and then I would have an extra payment completed this year. But right now, any extra money is going towards the save payments rather than mortgage. So we're going to leave that be for now. Groceries, I was actually thoroughly shocked when I saw this number, $240, because I typically, the grocery bill has been over $300, 300 plus. I do think there is going to be one more grocery run this month, and we might get close to that $360 planned expense, because right now $240 is, you guys can see, $120 less than what I thought I was going to spend on groceries. So we'll see. However, I will say something that's kind of helped out the grocery budget, at least in our household, is my parents carry right now one of the, I guess, most expensive commodities in groceries right now, chicken eggs, because they raise chickens, turkeys, and quail. So when I go to their house, they actually are able to donate some of these eggs to me, whether it be chicken, quail, or turkey eggs. And so that's really helped our budget. Maybe not by $120 worth, but it has helped the budget, because chicken eggs used to be a pretty cheap and simple source of protein, which my wife and I are kind of fitness conscious. We like going to the gym and eating and drinking protein. So it was nice when chicken eggs were an easy and cheap way to get that, but they're really not anymore. I mean, they're not like extremely expensive, but comparatively to where they were, they are expensive. So it is nice that, thanks Mom and Dad for donating your eggs to my wife and I. Really appreciate it. Anyway, moving on down to the water bill. This is the water for my house. And this month is $62. And I might have to adjust this planned expense for the water bill. When I first moved into my home about 3 years ago, the water bill was typically between $40 and $50. And so I thought I can put $50 here as the planned expense, because that's what it is when it's on the higher end of things. However, in these past winter months, it's been in the 60s, like the bill, $60. And I find that slightly odd, because it's actually in the winter months that we probably use the least amount of water, because it's in the summer months when we're washing a car or watering the garden, so it has those extra outdoor water activities that go on. So it might just be that water is more expensive now. I don't know. I don't follow that. I know expenses are always going up, so that's kind of to be expected. But this month, for the month of February, it is $62. It gets billed bi-monthly, so it's not every month, so it's not a huge deal, but I just like to track it and make sure it's not getting out of hand. We're going to move on down to gas here, and I have a little gas pump because this is gas for my vehicle. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the gas prices right now. However, while we're talking about gas, I will give a little plug. I'm not sponsored, but I will give a little plug for the Upside app. I know I've talked about it on this channel before. If you're someone like me who you unfortunately have to put gas in your car, you have to do it for work. And if you're going to have to buy it, you might as well get some money back for doing it. Might as well get some cash back. So the Upside app, basically you just sync it with your whatever card you like to use for gas, and it's going to give you a certain amount of cents off per gallon of gas you purchase. And one thing that makes me very excited and pleased with the app right now is that they just added, I think last week or the week before, they just added the 7-Eleven convenience store and gas stations. So I live in a small area. It's kind of rural. It's not a big city. And before they added 7-Elevens, the only other gas station that you could get in my city was the Speedways, which didn't always come with the best prices anyway. And so I was more inclined to just go somewhere else where the price was better. However, there's actually a 7-Eleven that's just less than a mile away from my house. And that place actually has one of the cheapest gas prices in the city. So coupling up the cheapest gas price in the city mixed with the Upside app, which gives me between 6 and 10 cents off a gallon usually, is a nice combo. I also plan to, you guys can let me know down in the comments if you think this is a good idea, of reviewing and maybe posting a tutorial on this app for some of you who may be interested. So if you would like, I'm actually going to leave down in the description a referral code for it. I do get a small kickback for the referral code. I'm not sponsored, but if you use the referral code, I think I get like 15 cents off per gallon for my next fill up. And I think if you use my referral code, you get 15 cents off your next fill up per gallon. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. So if you would like to use the app, go ahead and use that referral code. Tell me what you think. If you'd like to see a video specifically done on money saving apps like Upside, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. But back to my vehicle's gas price for the month. Right now we're sitting at $160. I'll probably have to make another fill up, at least another fill up before the month is over. But right now it's sitting at a good amount. We're still $90 less than what I typically planned to pay for my gas prices. Electric this month is $223, which is $75 less than the planned expense. Can't talk today. But I'm pretty happy to see that the electric bill is lower than the planned expense. I know for a while it was just out of control, but I've been trying to submit more meter readings to hopefully get a more accurate picture to the company, the gas and electric company, of what I'm using, because I think they were overestimating their cost for my house. My house is a very efficient house. Lighting and heating and everything else that would typically draw and increase your gas and electric bill is very efficient in my house, so it wouldn't make any sense for it to continue to rise unless they're just raising it, because who knows. I'm not going to try to speculate. But everything else on here is complete, and you guys can see if we look at the bottom where it says net income, the number I want to draw your attention to is this number right here where the mouse is. What this is saying is that if we take my total income and we take my total expenses and subtract them from each other, I will have a leftover amount, including with all the paying myself and the student loans. I'm going to have a leftover amount this month of $1,818.81. Now that's a lot of ones and eights, but because of that mortgage payment that I don't have to pay this month, my net income is actually a lot higher than it typically is. It's normally not that high. It usually is a little bit closer to zero, but because I have a mortgage payment this month, it's nice to see almost $2,000 of net income this month. So that's pretty cool. I haven't decided what my next video this month is going to be. I really don't need to make another Transfer Tuesday, and I've already now completed my budget for the month of February. So maybe it will be a net worth update. Maybe it will be an app tutorial, depending on what you guys think. But if you would like to see how my net worth has grown from being way in the negative to now in the positive, be sure to check this video out right here.